Welcome to the latest episode of Talks with Dorks presents Never Say Die, that wrestling show that's happening in Basildon on May 31st, and it's getting so close. We are in the home stretch, and this is part 5 of the podcast that's building the show. And today I've got two of our wrestlers that their match is already set up, two of the UK's biggest and brightest female wrestlers with a lot of history between them and a lot of history in the business. Let's welcome in. First off, the Empress of Dragons herself, MiaCortez, is joining us. Mia, welcome to Talks with Dorks.
Hello.
And then, she intimidates me, but we've known each other a long time. It is the one and only. It's Dominita. Dominita, welcome to Talks with Dorks.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
It's, like I said, we've known each other a long time. Obviously, me and you have known each other about 8 years, but me and Dominic, we've gone back since well before you were stepping into the ring, before you'd even considered it, and we'll get into all of that. And obviously, ladies, we've got this match set up, and I want to find out why we're doing this, because obviously later on we'll talk about that. Dominic, you asked for this match, and I'm sure there's probably a reason. It's probably a good friendship, could be a lot of history. We'll talk about that, but I want to know from you guys where it all started. Mia, do you want to take it away? Do you want to tell us what your history is in this industry of the wrestling show that is UK wrestling?
God. So I started when I was 14. I was wrestling mad and kept hounding my mum to let me wrestle, and she wouldn't let me backyard. She just wouldn't have it, having none of it.
Good.
So, yeah, she found me a wrestling school, and I started training twice a week, every week. And for like an entire year, I didn't speak. I just got in the ring and hit people with clotheslines and didn't say a word for ages. And then all of a sudden started talking, and they were like, "Do you remember when you didn't talk?" But I was training from 14. I was the only girl. So the boys treated me like a boy. They hit me as hard as they hit each other. They made me base for them. They basically just took all the girly girl out of me and turned me into a wrestler. I was pretty much brought up by wrestlers and wrestling promoters from the age of 14, because I just floated around with them all the time. I had my first official match at 17. My third official match whilst being 17 was for the light heavyweight title, which I didn't win.
Wow.
But it was a great opportunity and a great chance to step in the ring and learn. And it was really good to be put in that opportunity, because I'd worked really hard. It just goes to show that hard work does pay off. And then I've just kind of been about for ages, floating about. I was just Mia for a while. I didn't really have a character. I kind of used to just chuckle and say I was Pink Mia, generic wrestler 9068. And then I became the Dragon Goddess. And that gave me a lot of depth, a lot of avenue to play with, a lot of creative ideas. And I've been rolling with that for I'd say about eight years now. And sorry.
I was going to say that's I think when we first met down in Raynham, you were just sort of discovering that character. You were just finding it. Then it was just I feel like it was the beginning of what the character is now.
Yeah, definitely. And we've still got so many creative avenues that I can go with and flow with, and it just works really well. I mean, I was terrified that the audience wouldn't get it at first, me talking to a mask, but they love it. They talk back to the mask. The mask just enhances my performance. It gives me something to focus on. I talk to it during the matches. And it just sets me apart. There's so many dragons in wrestling, and I really had to think about how I'm going to make this dragon different to the many different dragons that are out there. And I mean, I got BPD. So basically my dragons are my different mood swings. So it just is so easy to work with, because it's natural. It's just kind of an extension of me.
It's that age-old wrestling thing that we've heard from The Rock, from all of them. It's that the truest character you can be is you with the volume up.
Yeah.
And that's when you find yourself. Like I tried it when I was just the relic. When I tried doing different things with it, but it was like, yes, I've got the name, the relic, but doesn't mean I have to literally be an old ancient artifact. I just got to be me. Although now at this age, I generally do feel like a relic, and that was proven by taking a few bumps today. So yeah, I mean, you've travelled the UK, and am I right in thinking, did you take a little step away as well for a bit
I
and
did.
sort of take a break? And did you have that niche, that need inside you to throw a few kicks and punches around and throw people around again?
Yes. I mean, I stepped away because I'd got to a point where I was kind of stale, and I didn't feel like I was progressing. And I thought, if I can't give it my all, then I shouldn't be there, because the audience don't deserve a half-assed performance. And if I can't give them my all, then I need to step away and see what the issues were. And I think there was so much going on back then, with different promotions and arguing and stuff like that, that I just kind of needed to step out of the politics, step away and miss it. And I really did. And I mean, I stepped away at a really bad point. 2014 was when it changed. Wrestling completely took off, Brit wrestling. And I mean, you look at people like what was Bobby Tyler, who's now over in America. And so my way of wrestling completely had changed in the couple of years that I'd been away. I mean, I was always taught left arm clotheslines and everything on the left. I come back and it's all right arm clotheslines and everything's being, so I had to adapt really quickly and learn a whole new style on top of breaking old habits that they don't no longer want, or, kind of thing. But it was a challenge, but I just pushed myself and I came back better and stronger, and I've just kind of been progressing since, sort of thing.
Okay, so the career is, is out there. You're focused on, like you said, you took your time out, you found who you are, you found this character that you are. I'm excited for the people of Essex to see, because if I'm right, it's been a while since you've been to this sort of neck of the woods.
Yes, it has actually. Yeah, been quite a while. I think last year I was down sort of towards Essex ways, but yeah, it's been a while.
Okay, and someone else that is, I mean, first show I ever promoted was 2007, and that was the early stages of who is now the powerhouse that is Dominita, who's sitting there waiting to talk.
Being
Um,
very patient.
you are being very patient, and I
Thank
know
you.
that can be an issue because I've
Thank you.
known you long enough. Um, see, the wrestling scene, they know you as this unstoppable force,
Yeah.
this character not to be messed with, this person not to be messed with, this
Yeah.
woman not to be messed with. I like to think I know the complete opposite side of that. I know you. To me, it's little sister over there
It
that
is,
I've
yeah.
known since she was a kid.
Since I was
Um,
young.
at time, very. That's let's okay. Wait, let's explain this a little bit. My career started. I have to talk about me. My career started down in Essex at Dropkicks. And a couple of the guys down there had been booked for a little camp show in Coombe Hastings. And
You
they
even
said,
remember?
I remember, I wish I remembered the exact date. Coombe, I remember the storyline, I remember it all. It was Tony Sefton and Ashley Reed got asked to come do a show. And Tony Sefton said to me, do you want to come? Just in case there's an option. And that was where I met you.
Yeah.
I met your older sister. And I
Yeah.
met the man that you called dad. I called my second dad. And a man that gave me a wrestling career.
Yeah.
And see, I said to you, I asked you if he was okay to talk about this. Obviously, Mr. John Coppin,
Yeah.
Mr. EWF. Honestly, straight away, got me. The
Yeah, I
emotions
haven't
go
heard
straight
that for
into it.
so long, you know. So long.
It's wow. Hang on. I wasn't expecting that to go straight into the heart there. A man whose initials are still tattooed on my
I was about to
stomach.
say, you got his initials tattooed on you, didn't
I
you?
have.
So
I have. And not to, you know, that was the least I could do for a man that gave me the only chances in wrestling I ever really got. So,
yeah,
see, let's talk about you. Let's talk about where it started for you, because obviously, for your dad himself was in the business a long time before I even met him.
yeah.
He had a lot of talent that are out there now doing big things, go through their career. You, if I remember, wasn't really wrestling until very late in his life. You weren't planning to take it up.
So no, I never really wanted to be a wrestler, really. So when I was 6, 7, Dad decided to buy a wrestling ring because that's what you do. You know, we used to go and watch it as kids with the family, and Dad decided what I'm going to do is I'm just going to buy a wrestling ring and I'm going to hire it out and tour the UK, which back then there wasn't many wrestling rings like there is now. So, you know, we were the only 1 or 2 rings for All Star or down the south at that time, and Dad was travelling all around the country doing ring jobs, which is how I actually, you know, got in the business and got to know who I do know. So we did that for a while, and then I was 12, 13 when I started training, and I was just, you know, we were just doing a couple of bumps before the shows. Some of the All-Star lads would jump in there, you know, like Robbie Brookside, James Mason, they would come in
Not
and
bad
show.
people to learn from.
Yeah, they would, you know, come and show me like just a couple of bumps, things that I could do. And then, yeah, Dad was like, well, why don't you do it? And it was more to make him proud. And, you know, I was always on the road from 7 until, you know, I started wrestling as it was with him. So I started training then, and I did have my first show at 13, which was actually at my school.
Well, really?
Yeah.
That's How could you ask for a better debut? Like your
Yeah.
school, where your own friends are there to
Yeah.
watch you. Was you
Yeah.
obviously you were still at that school at that
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
obviously. So that's crazy. And like you say, your story is almost similar to so, you know, another family in the business that I met through your family, the Knights.
Yeah.
Soraya, I remember Soraya herself. I remember being at shows for your dad, and Soraya not interested
Yeah.
in the business. Probably you two off playing together,
Well, yeah.
oblivious to what was going on in
Yeah.
the rest of the venue. But it because it's just in the blood. It's there in the blood, obviously, and
Yeah.
like I said, it stemmed, and you, without realizing it, you've picked up so much of the business before you've even took a bump and
Yeah.
stepped in the ring.
And you
You
know
knew
what? I think
things.
that's so important. And I do think that's what's missing in today's learning and training of wrestling. Like, we're so quick to put them in a ring before they know anything and the respect and just anything about the business. So if one thing I treasure, that is something I can take with me, that, you know, I've been, how do I say I've been around without saying I've been around?
Yeah.
I've been around long enough to know that kind of side of it, even if, you know, I'm not physically the best wrestler. You can't take my brain away from me. So
Yeah.
But that's it. Sometimes it's not always about just that wrestling thing. It's the knowledge. It's the
yeah,
simple little things of where to be, what to be doing, and learning. And we were talking about this just before we press record. Mia, you mentioned about what Daniel Bryan has been saying. He talked about his favourite time in the business was doing the Butlins camps. Again, we were kind of a part of that. That was All Star, but your dad was doing the ring job there,
yeah,
and we would get there and we'd get to meet the American Dragon, who were like, oh, he's quite cool.
yeah.
I
He used to
reckon,
stay at our house.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
I
I remember
started
tours with Gangrel.
I started on camps properly with Brian Manelli, and it was such an experience. Like, it was such a great way to get into the business. That was my first ever external booking, was the camps, and I had the best, and I remember it to this day. And I mean, it was just phenomenal, and learning to how to work a crowd, and just, I think it should still be more prominent now. Everybody should have to work the camps before they step into any sort of other aspect of wrestling. It just teaches you so much.
It does, yeah.
And the thing is, if you look realistically, are we as a country unique to that? Because do they have camp shows in America? I don't think that's a thing. I don't
I
think they
don't think
have.
that is.
There's definitely not a Butlins in New York. I know that much. But could you like they don't have that side of things. So it's like we say, it's a unique way to learn this business because it's not that you're going out, you're learning the wrestling. You're actually learning the best way to learn how to react
Yeah.
to that crowd
Yeah.
because that crowd, realistically, their crowd are already there. They're feeding to you before you've even walked out there because it's such a energetic. It's really sold. It is cheesy. It's like
Of course it is.
you know, I remember the All Stars or Fun Stars, whatever they call, getting involved in matches,
Massively.
and that is like part of it because it was all part of the entertainment and it was all part of, let's say, learning. Like Dominita, I can guarantee that you remember when I say the name Perrin Sands, what that was like as an experience. You'd get there the night before and you felt like you were
A superstar.
a superstar because I can't remember his name, that one main fun star. As soon as you walked in there, the wrestlers are here. Go say hello to the rest. The wrestlers are here. The wrestlers are here. Give it out. Like, people are just coming up to you, but like, we hadn't even done anything yet. And me being me was just like, right, okay. Let's have a few
You
beers.
loved it. You did. You
I
loved
loved the
it.
pie. I loved the party. There was many a times on them holiday camps where I forgot where my caravan was. And by the time I got back, your dad was sitting at a table playing poker, and his exact words were, "Go to bed."
Yeah. See. See.
Yeah, one of my favourite stories of your dad, and it's always, it's actually the first time I came to your house that wasn't anything to do with wrestling. I was going to see a friend in Bognor Regis, and while I was down, I was like, I'm going to pop over and see you. And I called your dad, and he said, yeah, I'll be at home. And I came round, and he was with a friend that was nothing. Again, it was my first experience of him away from wrestling. There was a friend there, tall, skinny guy he was, and he was like, oh, John, who's this guy then? And he was like, this is Relic, one of me boys. It's like that, mate. And he went, he's like a son to me, but 90% of the time I want to kill him.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, pretty much. I was like, cheers, John. That's how you explain me.
Yeah.
And he was like, do you know how many times we've woke up in the morning, getting ready to go to a show? We're all there, putting the ring up. He's nowhere to be seen. He rolls up 10 minutes after the ring's set up, sunglasses on, fag sticking out of his mouth, a can of Red Bull in his left hand, barely able to stand up, like, right, we're ready to go. That was me. I had a great time. Got away with a lot of them ring jobs.
Yeah. Absolutely, you did.
I remember because if you remember, I used to do quite a bit of the baby face, the lovable character. But one day I weren't feeling great, and I was like, I'm going to take this back. I'm going to go out today, and I feel like I need to be angry. I'm going to be on the other side of this. I'm going to be the one they hate. And halfway through the match, I could feel myself needing to be sick.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember this, and I literally just said to whoever, probably Simon, who was reffing, slowest count ever. And I went out, I'm leaving, I can't believe this. And I run out the back, run to the toilet, was throwing up. And when I got back, your dad's face was fuming. Unbeknownst to me, you could hear everything.
Oh.
I don't remember. Hear me. Oh my God, he was fuming.
Of course he would be.
I was playing, and when I come back out for it, I was like, oh, my face like that. I was saying, oh yeah, I'm gone, and I run out the back, and I'm just being as sick as possible, not realising I'm probably right near the venue, and you could just hear me.
Oh.
And, yeah, so he wasn't a happy bunny that day.
No, see?
Oh, those were the days.
They were good. They were good. He was all of them as well. Like, he was also like ready for the fun as well as the seriousness of having the wrestling. Like God. he would be there ready with his vodka back in the caravan. I was able to drink then. Like, they were good days.
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously he was telling me off, but as a dad.
Yeah,
as a dad, he was telling me off, like, sort yourself out, grow up, like, sort it out, give me a little clip round here if I needed it.
Absolutely.
It was walking into the caravan and just seeing that look. Like, head down, just head to the bedroom, go to bed, and then guaranteed I was going to be woken up with at least a frying pan wrapped around my head.
Yeah.
And the door of a caravan ripped off.
Yeah, don't blame him.
But Haven, Butlins, Pontins, if you are listening, we'd love to come back to the caravan sites, and we will not rip doors off. We are a lot older now.
Yeah. We don't even have the energy to rip doors off anymore.
I didn't even have the energy to do a roll today.
Yeah, exactly.
This hurts. It hurts so much. But yeah, so between years, there is a lot of history, like I said, and I'm glad we got to have this catch up about your dad, obviously, Dominic, because
Yeah.
I said for me that is the most important part of my career, was that I wouldn't have one. I wouldn't be putting these shows on if he didn't do my ring job for that first show that you had
Yeah.
an early match at in Basel in that tiny little hall, and now we're here. Like I did think there was a point. See, Mia, the last time you saw me wrestle was the last time I stepped in the ring. Was that show when it was Reese? That was the last time I stint, and I thought that was it. Didn't think it was going to come back, but now there's a little fire in me to at least promote. I feel like I need something to do in this business, and we are putting the show on. And obviously, we couldn't hide the fact that we have two wrestlers that are female on the show, so they are going to face each other. And Dominica, you did say to me, and I would like, because I came to you, obviously, I said to you, I'd love to have you on the show because we've known each other for a long time. I'd love you to be a part of it. Do you have any suggestions for opponents? And you're the one that pointed me to our old friend MiaCortez over there, and without any explanation of why you wanted this match, I said, let's have this conversation when we get onto this. And why? So why is this happening?
So me and Mia have got quite a history. We've wrestled each other quite a few times. Sometimes I've come out fairly injured. I've had fat lips, lump on my head. Still to this day, fully Mia smacking me in the face. But there's been quite a few that I came out on top of. So why shouldn't I choose Mia for this? It would be silly not to choose someone that I know I could easily go against and come out a winner, right?
Wow, okay. I didn't realise you were going to go there with that, Mia.
Absolutely, I'm going to.
Oh, well, although the egg on the head technically wasn't me. She headbutted me and came out worse. I don't even know how that happened, but that was a good
I'll
match.
send you the picture. I'll send you the picture.
If you send it to me, I'll see. I might be able to. I'll make sure it's up on here so people can see what we're talking about. I mean, Mia, you're taking it quite well, because Dominica literally to me just said that she wanted you because she feels that this is a walk in the park. And the MiaCortez I know wouldn't be taking that kind of chat from anyone. I mean,
so these dragons, that we got some fire left, and it's summertime, so we're charged, well charged up. I have been absorbing all the rays. The dragons have been absorbing the rays. Like, yeah, there's been a couple where you've come out on top, but I've got a lot of fight in me, and you know that, and I could take a good beating before I go down, if I go down. There's no certainties, so I can't say I'm going to win, because, the universe may not agree with that on that day. Anything can happen. But I do always say that I will give it all the energy I have. And you know that I'm going to come in like a pocket rocket, bouncing off those rings up and down. You don't like to go up the ropes, but I do. I'm a dragon. I fly. So I'm bringing the fire. I'm bringing the energy, and we're going to tear it up.
The thing is with Mia, she doesn't stay down, and I will give her that. She's hard to keep still. But I have got the weight on my side for that, and I'm more than happy to. If I have to sit on her, I will sit on her. If I'm gonna have to do these big splashes to keep her down, then that's what will happen. Mia, you've got some fighting talk, but we'll see.
I mean, someone that's been around this business a while, that I've seen unstoppable forces before, and sometimes the flying part of it can be an issue. Unstoppable force, because it's coming out of places that you don't know. So I feel like there is going to be this. What I guarantee is this is going to be a great match. Dominica, like I said, we've had a lot of history. We've known each other a long time. I don't know if the overconfidence is okay. Don't be offended, little sis. Listen, we're still like family, but I'm just saying. Sometimes the overconfidence, don't let it get. This is advice from Big Brother: is don't let the overconfidence get to your head.
I'm not you. It's not arrogance. It's not arrogance.
Ooh.
Not
Not
arrogance.
arrogant.
It's not arrogance at all. It's just knowing what the match will be. I know Mia and I know me. So I know what will happen at the end of that.
I mean, very brave talk to you, the guy you consider a big brother, and you're not the little sister that I once knew. I know that. But,
I'm 34 now. I'm not that 12-year-old no more. I'm 34 and I know who I am.
and okay, yes, we haven't seen each other in a long time, and I've been keeping tabs. I know what you're doing, and I'm not sitting there saying you are not good enough to do exactly what you've just said. But sometimes, it's like when you run your mouth a little bit. Sometimes it can come back and bite you in the arse, and you don't want a dragon biting you in the arse. Is all I'm saying.
No, I
Got a
don't.
sharp teeth. Sharp teeth.
Very
don't
sharp
want
teeth. And me. I mean, I'm not. This isn't me. I'm not being biased in any sense. And it's about all I'm saying. I'm trying to do the big brother talk to both of you, I guess, because I'm old enough to be everybody's big brother now. But okay, look, we're a couple of weeks away from this, and we're gonna see how this plays out. And like I said, I'm guaranteeing that. I know one thing. There may be some attitude here, Dominator. All right, but I also know one thing is that this is going to be a good match. This isn't going to be. I'd like to hope you're not the dirty tactics kind these days, because that's not the Dominator I know. Okay.
Don't need it. Don't need it.
Listen, we've got a good team behind this to be keeping an eye on what people are up to, and we've got it will all be explained. We've got a new system of keeping check on what people are up to and how they, as long as they're staying true and not being sneaky, we've got a way of keeping an eye on that. And I do not want it to be you that I'm having to have a chat with afterwards.
Why is that having to be me? Why aren't you having that chat with Mia too?
Okay.
I don't cheat.
No, I'm only saying this
I mean,
because
sometimes
there is
depends
that.
which dragon. Depends which dragon. Some.
Yeah, true. Okay, but the dragon that I feel like I've been talking to tonight feels like the one that is giving me a little bit more. There's a little, I don't know. Like I said, I keep referring back to this. We've known each other a long time. I feel like I see in them eyes that there is a little bit of, I've got a backup plan, and I don't like that because that's not the you I know, but it's also the you I've seen out there on the scene.
No,
Okay.
but do you know what? You've seen my Facebook profile picture, right? I've been training. The guns are coming in nicely. That is my backup. I'm getting stronger, and I'll keep training up until the day of this fight.
You need to.
Right. Okay. Listen. We had a good chat about careers and stuff like that. I don't want this to get out of hand on the podcast because this is still a professional podcast, and yet this is still to do with a wrestling show.
Thank you.
Is there okay? And listen, I'm gonna say I love you both. I've known you both, one longer than the other, of course, but I've known you both a long time. I thought this was going to be a conversation where you said I have love and respect for this lady. I've always loved working with her. I didn't realise there was an underlying little issue there.
Yeah.
I think I'm a bit taken back.
No, I respect her. I respect her as a wrestler. Do I respect her as my opponent? Absolutely not.
Ow.
Oh, ouch.
I think
Ouch.
Mia. I mean, you've seen Mia. You've seen Dominita around the scene more recently than I have. This side of Dominita I didn't realise was really there.
I mean,
Wow.
I have. There is a new side coming out. I have seen the confidence growing, the new gear looking amazing. No, I'm not gonna lie. Dragons like shiny, and it is shiny. I do like it, but like we said, sometimes ego gets the best of us. We can't. Well, maybe she's psychic. I mean, that would be an advantage that I don't think we should allow. Really, disqualification, seeing into the future. But It's 50-50. It's always going to be 50-50.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. It will be 50-50. You know, you're quick, you're good. Let's just see what happens on the night.
Okay. I feel like if you guys are okay with it, we'll start wrapping things up before this gets a little bit out of hand. I feel like I'm just a little bit shocked because I didn't realise I've seen a little different side of the little sister I once knew here that I feel like I did know was there, but didn't realise until I heard it, see it in person.
And what were we saying? Like, being a wrestler is just, you know, who you are. Then, you know, I've grown over these years and this is just who I am. You're scared and you should be.
I'm not scared.
Yeah, you are.
I'm in charge. I'm the boss now. Your dad used to be my boss, but I'm the boss of this now.
I was the boss of you at one point, so don't you worry.
This sounds like it's going to lead into a me versus you thing down the line, and that's not going to happen, right? Okay, this is you two. This is down between you two, and yes, true, you was once mine, but then maybe you should be a little bit concerned that I remember how you treated me as a younger boss than me. You were 14, 15, telling me what to do and how to act. Right? Maybe I've held. Maybe that's one of the reasons. Maybe I do love you like the little sister, but maybe I've always remembered how you put your foot down with me, and maybe I am being biased. No, I'm not. I couldn't be. With you two, I couldn't choose a side because I said got a lot of love for both of you and your careers. But to me, I want to see a match. I don't want to see this getting out of hand in ways it shouldn't, is all I'm saying. Ladies, thank you for joining us. Okay, I know you can, but I've also seen that you can't. So that's all I'm saying. And Mia's smiling. She knows what I'm talking about. Like, she realised I'm seeing it now. I've seen it fully.
We'll see.
Ladies, thank you for joining us. Would you like to tell anybody where they can find you on social media?
Go on then, Mia. I'll let you go.
You can find me at MiaCortez, Independent Wrestler, on Facebook and on Instagram.
Yeah. So I'm only on Instagram, so you can find me at Dominita Wrestler 1.
There you go. We are at Talk Dork Podcast. I'm the DJ Ryan S. This is Talks with Dorks, and Talks with Dorks presents Never Say Die is happening May 31st. We are less than 3 weeks away. Technically, by the time this comes out, it could be almost 2 weeks away. Get your tickets now. They are going fast. And we will see how this plays out on the night. And I'm very excited for it. A little bit concerned, but I'm also very excited about it. Again, ladies, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Let's let you say your goodbyes.
See you on May the 31st.
I'll be there. See you May 31st.
See you later.
Are you